Hey y'all, Heather here from Anointed to Write. This is 12 Days of Christmas and I am on day 10. Today I wanted to discuss the importance of a support system. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about a support system, and you guys can leave this in the comments, but I feel like having a support system is extremely important. One of the reasons I feel like having a support system is important is because there's going to be times where you are down and out and you need somebody to support you through that. Sometimes you need somebody to give you an encouraging word for you to get back up. A lot of times we say, oh, pray about it. As long as you got Jesus, you don't need nobody else. And that's a great way to think. However, God put people in your life for a reason. He didn't create us to be here alone. He didn't create us to navigate this thing called life alone. So I think it's very important for you to find your tribe, find your support system, and stick with them. Now, here's the kicker. Your support system is not going to always be your family. And sometimes your support system is not going to always be who you call friend, right? People can argue that and say, oh, people support you the way they know how to support you. That's 100% true. But sometimes you have to set an expectation. So you have your support system and you set the expectation for your support system. And either they can honor that expectation or not. The choice is theirs. But it's very important to have a support system. We are upon a very busy time of year. It's a hectic time of year. It's a time of year where people are posting a lot of pictures with their Christmas tree, their decorations, their gifts. I saw someone with a picture on their page. It had a Christmas tree with gifts to cover the entire living room. And that's great that you're able to do that. If that's what you want to do, that's wonderful. But there are people out here who can't do that. There's people out here that can't afford it for their children. They want to. There's people out here who are dealing with a lot. And there's people out here who don't have a support system, believe it or not. You may come from a close-knit family. And so for you, that seems really awkward and it doesn't seem normal. But for a lot of people, they don't have a close family. Their family's not their support system. So before you judge a person's situation or a circumstance, or before you judge how a person is speaking about not having a support system, take time to understand it. Everybody doesn't have what in business we call a warm or a hot market. People will say, tap into your warm market. That's your family and your friends. But your family and your friends are your family and your friends. They're not necessarily your support system, or they're not necessarily your target audience, if you want to talk about business, if you will, right? I have been an author since 2017, and I can tell you that not everybody in my family and not all of my friends have purchased my books. And that's okay, because I have friends that are in business and they can say the same, right? Just because someone is your friend does not mean they're your target audience. Just because someone is your family does not mean they're your support system. Sometimes I think we have these expectations of people and we place it on people and we're not clear. And we don't communicate it effectively enough for them to know. So we have this expectation of someone and they didn't even know that that expectation was there, and we're offended. Or we have an expectation of someone knowing that they can't rise to the occasion and meet that expectation, and then we're offended. Finding your support system and understanding the importance of a support system is key. It's not easy to find your support system, because sometimes your support system doesn't come in the form of a monetary support. Sometimes it comes in the form of somebody that's going to check on you to make sure you're okay. That's going to give you an encouraging word. That's going to be a listening ear or a shoulder for you to cry on. Support comes in a lot of different ways. You can share someone's post. You can like someone's post. You can heart someone's post. You can respond to someone's post. You can tag someone in someone's post. All of these things are also a way for you to support. Find your support system. I found a support system. I have my tribe. But people will be very, 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 I'm trying to think of a word that's not offensive. People will pretend to be your support system because they feel obligated to, because they're your family or they're in your friend group, if you will, but they really don't want to support what you have because they're not interested. Now, as an author, I have people in my family that don't read. As a speaker, I have people in my family that are not interested in listening to a keynote. As a coach, I have people in my family that are not interested in being coached through anything. I know so many people that say, I want to write a book, and they just write however they feel, and they write the way they talk, and all the things that you were told when I was in school not to do, people are doing today, and they're going through the process of publishing it because everybody wants to be an author. And that's okay to have a dream to want to be an author. My back is killing me. Sorry, guys. It's okay to have that dream to want to be an author. But when you have somebody in your circle that can help you, allow them to. Because a lot of times we will go outside of our circle because we don't take our family and friends' business seriously. That's just Heather. That's just Joe. That's just Susan. That's just Lisa. No, but these people have businesses. And these people have been qualified for whatever it is that they do. And you know they're qualified because you've seen their qualifications. I always say credibility plus visibility equals equitability, right? But you have to be credible in the eyes of strangers sometimes, and you have to be visible in the eyes of strangers sometimes in order to make the equitability, if that makes sense. Because again, you need to find your support system, but understand that support comes in different ways. Your support system might not be a whole bunch of people that are going to support you monetarily, as I said. But you want to find that support system. And when you find that support system, sometimes just that encouraging word that they give you, or when they tell you keep going, or if they give you little tips and tricks on how to build your business, that's something that kind of makes it a little easier. Hey, Diana. Hey, Des. Thank y'all for showing up. But I found when I was looking for my support system that people in my family didn't support me in business, and that's okay. Hey, Pastor Newbie. But sometimes you have to realize that your support system will come in ways and forms that you don't even realize and you don't expect. Right? Hey, Tiara. So I had a support system in business that came in a way that I didn't expect. I got on Facebook in March of this year. And within this 10-month span, I actually have an online support system. And I was able to meet some of those ladies in person this past weekend. So don't find it strange that God will place you in a position where a support system in this season will not come in the way that you think. My support system came in the most inopportune way. I don't meet people online like that. But it was organic, it was authentic, and it was real. And so even looking at some of the people that are on this live, 3 out of 4 of the people that are on this live, I met online first. And then I met in person. I never met Diana in person. But I did get a chance to meet Tiara and Des in person because we're business partners in another business. But I didn't meet them in person at first, right? So you can build and sustain relationships, and you can build a community in different ways. It doesn't have to be the traditional way. So I just wanted to get on here and encourage you guys today. When you find your support system and it's authentic, it's not forced, nurture it. Because sometimes you will be a part of groups where someone put the group together for something that they needed, and you're a part of it. And sometimes either you outgrow it. Sometimes the people in the group don't support you. You're just somebody that the visionary brought to the group. You want to be a part of something where you support and they support. And again, it doesn't have to be a monetary support. It can be, oh, I recommend somebody to you for this, or I'm going to share your post, or whatever it is I'm able to do. So that's something to think about when you're talking about a support system, because sometimes when you have people that you've known for a long time, let's be real on here today, sometimes it's about popularity, right? And if you're not popular, or if you don't have a certain status, people are not really checking for you, right? And so, yes, Diana, a like and a share goes a far way with engagement. Hey, Shadina. So that's something that we need to think about too. When you're finding your support system, be open to the process and the possibility that it might not come the way that you want it to come. But God is going to ensure that you have a support system. You just got to trust the process, right? So in this season, whatever your process is, trust it. Whoever God is bringing into your life, don't just be closed off. Sometimes you have to give people a chance. Have a conversation with somebody in that inbox. Have a conversation with somebody over the phone. When you meet people in person, give them a chance and have a conversation. Don't just write them off because it's somebody that you don't know. A lot of us are introverted, right? I'm actually an introvert by nature, but in business, I can't be an introvert. So I'm just encouraging you guys to understand where you are and where you're trying to go. And where God is trying to take you is always higher. And so if God's trying to take you higher, sometimes you have to do things that may be uncomfortable. That's how God works. Put you in an uncomfortable situation to get you from where you are to where he's trying to take you to. So again, find your support system. Be open to the process. Don't be closed off to strangers. Give people a chance. All right. I thank you guys so much for getting on. This was the question I had for the 5 that are on here. You can either put it in the chat or you can tell me that you want me to invite you on live. I'm good with that too. What is one way that you guys have found your support system? What does that look like? What was your process? Because I know my process was shaky for a minute, right? Because you outgrow people. People are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And we can't get the lifetime people mixed up with the seasonal people. But how did you find your actual tribe that stuck? And they were tried and true. And they support you in every way that they can. Doesn't mean everybody that supports you the same. But to their capacity. How does that work for you? Tiara, are you able to get on live? I don't know if she's at work. I would like to pull somebody up on this live. I know Des is probably more than likely driving.